Hey. You're back with me again, Tsetsi. And today we're going to eat together. And the food that I have prepared today is raw, vegetarian, vegan, and mostly fruitarian. Assortment of beautiful things. Let me go ahead and show you first what I have. Raspberries. I have two. I have wonderful strawberries. I have blueberries, apples, I've got a cucumber, what do you call these? Mulberries? I'm not sure. I've got nuts, macadamia nuts. Some of my favorite radishes, raw mushrooms, corn, I've got these great bell peppers, orange, yellow, red, some very ripe nectarines, I've got this fruit. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but I believe it's I'm not quite sure really, but I'll eat it anyway. And I've got a kiwi, and I've got lemon. I'm not sure if I'll eat the lemon. Peanuts. Now let me go and grab a knife. This is dripping everywhere. This is a very good nectarine, by the way. Very, very good. Ah, this was so good. I'm gonna have more. I'm not finished with these yet. Look how ripe and juicy. I'm Tsetsi, by the way. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. And also check out my other videos. I'm just now starting to do mukbang too. But I've done various topics so far. I was in the park today and I was walking around with a very interesting person. I met him not long ago. His name is Adam. This is absolutely delicious. The best nectarines I've ever had in my life. That's why I bought so many, do you see? So, Adam, right? I've seen him around, you know? One time he came and he sat next to me on the bench I was sitting at in the park. But today was really a day when I got to know him better, because he doesn't have a phone or anything. He just lives on the well, he doesn't live on the streets, but he used to be homeless, he told me. Now he's inherited money from his grandma, so he's able to afford like a housing and, you know, an apartment. But he's very like boyish looking. Like, he tells me he's 30. He doesn't look 30. He looks like he's about no more than 25, maybe 20, like in his 20s. By the way, I always smear the juices all over my hands, sometimes on my face too. Yeah, so Adam, right? I was telling Adam, we were talking about mainly, you know, like politics and things. Because we had this referendum here the other day. It was about voting whether whether UK should stay in the European Union or if it should exit, and they voted that it should exit. But basically I don't really care. I think it's like People don't get to decide these things, you know. Even though they consider it a vote, it's not a vote. It's just what somebody decided, and they're letting people give their voices and give their opinions just to see what the turnout would be. That measures how involved people are in politics. But it doesn't mean they're going to consider what the actual vote is. Because I'm a big, you know, like conspiracy theorist too. So yeah, so I was telling you about Adam. Ooh. So he's in love with a girl. Her name is Emma Green. She's about his age, because they used to go to school together. But he's been after her for like 6 years, maybe even more. He's been basically stalking her. And, you know, in my opinion, I don't think she even wants to know about him. She doesn't care about him. He says she's like a local socialite, so she doesn't work or anything. She just basically like, oops, I'm gonna have a piece of corn here, but before I do that, I'm gonna have another nectarine, juicy nectarine. Yeah, so I was telling you about Adam, right? So he's in love with Emma Green, who hangs out with different guys every day, mainly in their cars. Whatever that means, I don't know. I can't figure it out. He says she looks so different every time he sees her, and he doesn't even recognize her. That's strange. That's another strange thing. And then I asked him, I said, do you go out with her? Do you ever talk? He said no. Sometimes I think she wants me to do things for her, but I'm not sure if I'm just imagining. I personally don't think she wants anything to do with this guy. I think he's an alcoholic too. Because he smells like, you know, like a jug of wine in my grandmother's basement. He's got like a very interesting heritage. He comes from like Jewish, Swedish, English, Indian backgrounds. That's a lot of backgrounds. And I think even Irish or Scottish too. So he's very mixed. But he speaks like a poet, you know. He sounds like a very like educated person, you know. So today he was telling me, he's like, Tsetsi, did you know that I have 2 brothers? I said, no. How should I know? I don't know you. He's like, yeah, I do. And one of them lives in a boat. Out of all things, you know? I said, what kind of boat? He's like, well, he bought a boat. He parks it down by the river, on the river, in the river, whatever. He lives inside the boat. So I said, well, like, how much does that kind of lifestyle cost? He said, well, it's very cheap. You don't have to pay rent. The boat is like inexpensive, and it doesn't cost much to maintain either. He said he only bought it, he bargained for it. It was listed for £8,000, which is about, I don't know, like $10,000, $11,000, $12,000, but he bargained it down to £6,000. So blueberries are very nice. So good. So yeah, anyway, Adam, right? And his brother. His brother is a student at Oxford University, and he lives on this boat in the river in Oxford, and the river is the River Thames, in case you don't know, because that's the river that runs throughout the whole of England. And the brother used to be with a French girl. Very artistic, very like inspiring French girl. Well, but then they split up after 3 years. What can you do? You know? So basically, Adam thinks that his brother, what's his brother's name? Tim is gonna miss that girlfriend, French girlfriend of his, very much, because when they bought the boat, they actually fixed it up together. Excuse me. So she was, artistically involved with the boat. Like, who is he gonna find? Who else is he gonna find to take ownership over that home, that boat, to love it so much as to decorate it? I mean, we can only find one person like that. I mean, not everyone is suited for that kind of thing, So But also, you know, I've been seeing Adam on and off. Some days I see him, some days I don't see him on the streets. And whenever I do see him, he's always in a hurry. He buys a little bit of food from the grocery store, and then he's hurrying back home, where he lives in a council property. If you don't know what council property is, I just got sprayed. Excellent corn, by the way. This is raw corn. I just unpackaged it. So, yeah, so Adam lives nearby. He lives by the station. And that girl, Emma Green, she's like my neighbor, the girl he's in love with. And of course, his brother lives in Oxford. He split up with his French girlfriend. And Adam thinks that his brother is gonna miss that girl a lot. I think so too. Adam is such an interesting guy. I wanted to interview him. I said to him, why don't you meet me somewhere and we'll have an interview together? He said, well, I hate the idea of setting up like appointments for interviews and things like that. But he said, but why don't you meet me at the graveyard? He said, like tomorrow. I said, what? At the graveyard? I was like, yeah, I love the graveyard. The cemetery, the local cemetery by the church, it's like full of graves and stuff, and like those stones that they have above the graves. It is so good. So good. Anyway, so I said, are you sure? Cemetery? Graves? I thought about it. I was like, yeah, okay, we can do that. But I said, what are we going to talk about? He said, doesn't matter. We'll just wing it, you know? We'll improvise. But then he had said that to me like 3 weeks ago. Then that day I couldn't make it. But everyone I told about him, everyone thought that's very odd, you know, to meet a stranger in the cemetery for an interview. So I thought so too, but I'm very like open-minded. So I don't consider that strange. I'm so used to so many strange people in my life that, like, when I meet somebody who's a little bit offbeat, I just think that's normal. And I think that, if anything, that's interesting. As long as that person doesn't create problems for me, then I'm game to befriend them. You know? Jesus Christ, this is so good. So Adam, right? And this girl, Emma Green, he's been after her for 7 years. And he can't even, like, he's just a total mess. He's walking around the streets looking like a bum. Like, he doesn't bathe, he doesn't shave, he doesn't do anything. Well, he shaves. His face is clean shaven, but I doubt he takes care of himself otherwise. And I just kind of wonder what kind of girl Emma is to move him in such a way that he would be like after her, like, for most of his adult life. Because, like, you know, he must have been after her since he was 23 if he's been after her for 7 years now. And then like, he told me his grandmother was a rich Jewish lady. Oh yeah, did I mention he was Jewish too? Part Jewish. Who left him and apparently his brothers some money. Well, obviously the little brother knew what he was doing, right? Knew what to do with the money, because I bought that boat for $6,000 and then he fixed it up. But Adam, he just squandered the money. I just basically spent it, almost all of it. I think she gave him like 9,000 pounds in her will. I hope I don't have lipstick everywhere. So today he wanted to go watch the game with me at his house. I was like, what? Like, you just finished telling me that you're unkept and your house is like a mess, and then you invite me to your house. First of all, I don't really watch TV. I'm not a TV person. I can watch anything I want on the computer. Why should I? I don't even own a TV. But second of all, I'm not into sports. I'm not a man, you know? Why am I so addicted to these corn?